What's going on, everyone? It's your boy, Spool Boy, and we are here with week 3 of playoffs in the Bbdl, also known as the Semifinals, and also the Violet Championship, the Violet Conference Championships. This week I'm going up against Stewb. We did play him earlier on in the season as well. I believe we played him week 7. I will put that in the little info card in the top right of the top right corner of the video. So go ahead and go check that out if you haven't seen this one, or if you haven't seen that one yet, and then come back and watch this one. So, we did a voting in our league for like just best Pokemon in each tier and all that kind of stuff, and like best rookie coach, and Stewb was one of the two. I think we had a tie. So he was voted the best rookie coach, one of the best rookie coaches, and he was in the same conference as me. The other one being Bbdl, who is in the Scarlet Conference, so I haven't gotten to play him yet. But so big props to my opponent for, getting such cool recognition as that, being a great rookie coach. So yeah, in the first game he did bring Trick Room, and in this game he brought didn't bring Trick Room. So I prepared my team more to play against Trick Room than kind of a faster mode, but I still do have Trick Room on my Farigiraf as well as Tailwind on my Noivern, just because I like to have the option of doing either, because my team, the speed tiers of my team are so in the middle that I feel like my team can work either or depending on what my opponent brings. So I like to have that option. So of course this week we do have that option once again. And I just want to say my opponent does upload. I am going to put a link to his channel down in the description below, so please go check him out. He plays in multiple leagues and he uploads quite frequently, so if you want to see more Draft League content, go check him out. The link to his channel will be in the description below. So starting off here, he leads off with his Iron Hands and his Cyclizar. I'm going to lead off with Noivern and Hariyama, and I do want to get the Tailwind up, and I do believe my Noivern is going to be slower than the Cyclizar because I didn't expect the Cyclizar to come. So I didn't EV the Noivern to be faster than Cyclizar. I had it speed creeping, I want to say maybe max speed as Pathra, and that was it. So I do have a little more HP invested into this Noivern and max special attack with like I think 116 or 106 speed EVs. I don't really remember exactly. But we are just going to go for the fake out into this Iron Hands here because I don't want to getting an attack off, because Noivern can live at least one attack, being that it has Focus Sash. So if it doesn't get doubled up into, it's going to live. So they do just taunt us there, and that's kind of the downfall of the Cyclizar being faster than my Noivern there is I'm going to get taunted. So here I'm just going to swap out my Noivern, because now that's taunted, the only thing I can really click is Draco Meteor, and I don't want to click that, mostly because I don't want to stay in and possibly take a Dragon-type move from the Cyclizar itself. So I'm just going to swap out Noivern, bring out Ting-Lu, and go for an attack with my Hariyama. I do believe I clicked the Drain Punch into the Cyclizar. So getting some damage down on the Cyclizar. I do assume it's the Regenerator. I was really worried about it being the Shed Tail, so I didn't really want it to sit on the field for too long without being targeted, just in case it did have that Shed Tail. But we do go for the Drain Punch. We just get the one-hit knockout. He did knock my Black Belt off there, so that's going to lower the damage of my Drain Punch. The reason why I had Black Belt is because I didn't really know what else to put on Hariyama, and I wanted to put Citrus Berry elsewhere on my team, and I wanted to increase the Hariyama's damage against the potential of Glass Terrier coming. So that is why I have the black belt this game. And after knocking out the Cyclozar, the Hydreigon does come out. I actually didn't realize it at first, but he does have quite a bit of Dragonmons on his team. So my Noivern with Draco Meteor actually doesn't look too bad. But I mean, I kind of just bring Draco Meteor on it just to get as much damage out as possible, as quick as possible. That doesn't have the worst hit chance. So here he's going to go for the Terastallization on his Hydreigon, and I'm just going to protect with my Hariyama just because I kind of want to see what he's going to go for. And I want to go for the Earthquake on the Ting-Lu just to see how much damage it's going to do to the Iron Hands. And we do see that he goes for the Terra Blast with the Terra flying into my Hariyama. So protecting my Hariyama there was the right choice. I actually didn't click Earthquake. I clicked Body Press, which also works just fine. Had they not Terastallized there, that probably would have taken the knockout on the Hydreigon just because I am max defense with a defense boosting nature. So here I'm going to stay in with the Ting-Lu just because I know I can take probably 2 more Drain Punches, and I'm going to swap out to Noivern to maybe get up some my Tailwind here, or yeah, I think that's really the only thing I'd want to do here. Also, we get to see the item on the Hydreigon, which is Life Orb, so it's going to boost his damage. And it's going to go for the Terra Blast here, but it going into Noivern's not too big of a deal. We're going to be able to take at least 3 of those, as long as we don't get hit by the Iron Hands over there. So this turn, we do go for the Earthquake. We see it does about 40% to the Iron Hands, so that's going to be like a 3-hit KO. But after the healing here from the Drain Punch, it's definitely a 3-hit KO, I think, still. But knowing that I kind of only have 1 more turn with my Ting-Lu being as healthy as it is, I am just going to go for the Protect and just get off some damage with the Noivern. I do kind of expect him to kind of keep attacking that Ting-Lu slot. And we do get the Draco off, and it does a decent chunk to Hydreigon. Does about probably half HP, I want to say. He does go for a second Terra Blast into us, and that's going to take us down to just 23 HP. So with Ting-Lu being out there, that goes from like a 2-hit KO on us to a 3-hit KO on us. So Ting-Lu is always already doing a huge amount of work for my team with just his ability alone. So now here, I kind of got to choose. I still haven't used my Terastallization, but I'm really not expecting him to Terra Blast my Ting-Lu. So I'm thinking about maybe just going for the Terra Fighting, because this will allow me to take another Drain Punch, and will allow me to get maybe the knockout onto the Hydreigon. I think after a Terastallization, Body Press would be enough from the amount of HP it's at, but it would definitely be enough after Life Orb Chip. So this is kind of just to keep my Ting-Lu alive one more turn and hopefully get a knockout on the Hydreigon, which we're not going to get this turn because he does Protect. But that does give us the time to get our Tailwind up. So at least if Noivern were to go down this turn, our Tailwind's up, and our team's going to be a little bit faster. Not that really... Of the Pokemon I brought, they're all pretty slow in this game, in this first match, because I brought the Hariyama, the Ting-Lu, and the Farigiraf. But with that Tailwind up, that's going to ensure that we at least outspeed the Iron Hands with everyone. So that's always good too. I am going to go for the Body Press into the Iron Hands because I can just fake out the Hydreigon here to take a knockout if he doesn't swap or if he doesn't get a double Protect. But a double Protect is pretty risky, and I think even with our Tailwind up. Hydreigon still outspeeds both Mons on my team. So there is a reason to try to preserve it here and go out to maybe whatever his last Pokemon is in the back to take that fake out. Unless it's like a Sash Pokemon or he doesn't want it taking a chip. But we do see that he does swap out there and goes right out into the Iron Bundle. So we are going to get a little bit chip on this Iron Bundle. And we are going to see that it is booster energy. And I believe it's booster special attack. Yeah, so I don't exactly know what that means. I want to say that means it's modest. Or like modest max at special attack, maybe. But he does go for the Drain Punch into the Hariyama, and that's going to take us down to just 45 HP. And we do get to see the body press damage on the Iron Hands, which is a decent amount of damage. That does give me some hope to maybe 1v1 the Iron Hands later on with Ting-Lu, as long as I'm able to Terastallize, if it really comes down to it. So here, I'm just going to go for the knockout into the Iron Bundle if for some reason he doesn't want to attack me. I am kind of expecting him to at least protect the Iron Bundle. Yeah, I'm expecting a protect out of the Iron Bundle, so I'm just going to actually double up into the Iron Hands, and he does actually not protect that turn, so he does get the knockout on our Hariyama. And here I should be taking a knockout on the Iron Bundle if I'd gone with what I had originally locked in. No, that's a lie, because I originally locked in Protect. But, yeah, so we don't get a knockout there on the Iron Bundle, but I was very much expecting a Protect, just because I thought maybe he was more afraid of just the Iron Bundle getting knocked out, but that was a good play on his part. Whether it was intentional or not, it went perfectly in his favor. So here I'm just going to go for the Protect on my Ting-Lu. And I do check to see how much Tailwind I have left, because it will affect our speed tiers in Trick Room. But with it ending after this turn, I'm safe to just get Trick Room up and flip the speed tiers kind of back into my favor. I'm thinking that the Iron Hands is probably going to outspeed everything on my team in Trick Room, but the Iron Bundle will be the slowest thing on the field afterwards, so getting the Trick Room up here is really important to giving us a chance in this game, just because we know he's got Hydreigon in the back that has the super effective Terra Blast that can knock out the Ting-Lu. So we need to make sure that when the Hydreigon comes out, Ting-Lu is actually faster than it and able to knock it out. And Trick Room is going to be kind of our way to do that. So here, just in case the Iron Bundle doesn't protect this time, I'm just going to Body Press into it. And I'm going to Psyshock with Farigiraf into the Iron Hands. And he does use the Protect there. He does go for the Drain Punch into our Farigiraf there, and his Iron Hands is pretty much back at full HP again. But the Psyshock attacks on the physical side, on the defensive, attacks the defensive stat rather than the special defensive stat, so we actually just ignored the Assault Vest being there. I did almost bring Psychic on the Farigiraf, but I figured just in case this time around he wanted to bring Assault Vest on one of his Mons, that Psyshock would probably be the better way to go. And right now I'm really glad that I brought it, just because it does threaten a lot more damage out on that Iron Hands, which is really important, because with all those Drain Punches getting off, it's, I mean, I think Iron Hands is played with like 2.5 HP bars so far this game, which is insane, because it's just kind of sad here on the field. So he is gonna switch the Iron Bundle out there, which I'm surprised about. But I guess he wanted to preserve it for later. I thought maybe he would want to keep the Hydreigon, but there's no way that the Hydreigon can take another hit outside of the Trick Room. And at least maybe Iron Bundle would have some kind of chance. So we just go for the Body Press again into the Iron Hands. And it's getting closer to being knocked out. One more Body Press should do it, even with the recovery from Drain Punch. So we're just going to go for the Body Press again. Protecting here doesn't really get us anything, just because I don't think a little bit more of HP is really going to help us live, or is going to make the difference in us living there. So I do just go for the Body Press again, but he does protect his Hydreigon, maybe predicting that I was going to go for a knockout on it. But I actually opt just to go for the Iron Hands, because I'm still going to be faster than the Hydreigon and the Iron Bundle, and I know a Freeze Dry from the Iron Bundle won't knock me out. So I feel pretty confident just to go for Body Press here in our last turn to Trick Room on this Hydreigon and just get rid of it. Because the Iron Bundle would have to hit a Freeze Dry and a Hydro Pump, or 2 Hydro Pumps to knock us out. 2 Freeze Dries won't do it. So here we go for the Body Press. We're going to take out the Hydreigon, and then it's just going to come down to Iron Bundle and the Ting-Lu. And I do believe... I mean, my Ting-Lu has, like, almost no... Oh, wait, no. This week I actually went mixed on Ting-Lu. He's not max defense. He's, like, max HP, half defense, half special defense. I'm pretty sure. So this turn, we are just going to protect to get a little bit more HP back from the leftovers, because it could be the difference maker between us living a Hydro Pump and us not. But I am just kind of hoping that he misses the Hydro Pump here, just that way we don't have to... It doesn't have to come down to a roll or anything like that. But he does get the Hydro Pump off, and it does hit, and we live with 4 HP. So that protecting the turn before and getting that leftovers recovery really did make the difference this game, and allows us to live and take the last knockout on the Iron Bundle. So with that, we are going to take game 1, and going into game 2, just looking at his team in preview, I know that Ting-Lu needs to come every single match. But I'm thinking of ways of different Pokemon that I could bring in the team just to kind of mix things up and just see how they work against his team and what he might want to bring. So for this one, I am going to bring... I know I want to bring Ting-Lu, and the Hariyama is going to come, but I'm thinking that we probably don't need to bring Noivern this time around, just because, like I was saying in the last match, my Pokemon that I brought were pretty slow. And so the Tailwind really doesn't do a whole lot. Now, the one reason to bring Noivern would just be the Frisk ability, but the only Pokemon we don't know the items on are going to be Breloom and Espathra. And I'm okay with going into this one blind on those 2 Pokemon. Just to leave Noivern behind, because I don't think Noivern's really isn't really bringing much in these games. So I am going to leave him behind, bring the Gyarados and the Farigiraf with Hariyama and Ting-Lu. Volcarona doesn't come to this game just because he didn't bring as many physical attackers as I was expecting. With his Trick Room mode on his team, he has way more physical attackers, but since that mode didn't come, Volcarona doesn't really have a whole lot to do. So here we do see that he actually leads off with both Breloom and Espathra. And we're going to lead off with Gyarados and Hariyama. I kind of do just want to get some paralysis down on his Pokemon, just because I don't have any other form of status condition on my team other than the Flame Body on the Volcarona. And Volcarona didn't come, so the best thing I can really do is get down some Thunder Waves. And here I'm debating on swapping in my Farigiraf to maybe take a hit from the Espathra, just in case they do want to try to target down my Hariyama right off the bat. There is the possibility of one of them being Covert Cloak. I don't know, so I don't really want to fake out into any of them. But he does protect with the Espathra there, and the Breloom is going to Spore our Farigiraf. And in case any of you didn't know, this league is a VGC style draft league, but we do have a sleep clause, so only one Mon can be put to sleep at a time. So until Farigiraf wakes up, he can't actually put another Mon to sleep. So Farigiraf's just going to stay asleep, and I don't feel too threatened by either of the Mons on the field with my Farigiraf, so I'm okay with just sitting on the field and burning sleep turns. And he does swap out with the Breloom there. Maybe he was afraid of a Flying Terra Blast or something like that from Gyarados. But they do go for the Luminacrest into Gyarados, and Gyarados is pretty bulky on the special side. But we do have Covert Cloak on it, so we actually don't get the special defense drop. And so we do just get a free water... Well, not free, but some pretty decent damage down on that Espathra. And here, I am debating on whether I want to Terrastalize here just to save my Gyarados from, like, a 4 times effective Thunder Punch coming out from the Iron Hands. But I am also worried about a Lumina Crash once more into my Gyarados. So I'm just going to Protect just to scout what he wants to do. See if maybe... Well, no, he can't Fake Out because I have Farigiraf out on the field. But we do see that they go for the Dazzling Gleam. And Farigiraf's going to take that pretty okay. Gyarados takes nothing because of Protect. And after seeing the Lumina Crash, I'm actually feeling a bit more confident just going for the Poison Terra into a Waterfall here, just to get as much damage down on this Espathra as possible. And also kind of save myself from a Thunder Punch that might come out into my Gyarados. I know this turn for sure I have to make a play with Gyarados, whether I swap it out or I stay in. I don't really want to swap out because I have nothing in the back that wants to take a Dazzling Gleam. And I don't expect the Lumina Crash to come out. So I just decided to Terra Poison to resist the Dazzling Gleam and also take the Thunder Punch and be able to live. So he does Terra Fairy here, and I'm also going to Terra into the Poison type. And I believe, I don't remember exactly what we clicked with the Farigiraf. It might have been Reflect. I know I didn't click Trick Room. I'm pretty sure it was Reflect. Oh no, it was Protect. That's right. Okay. Yeah, so we click Protect there because otherwise, if we are attacked by the Iron Hands, it is going to just clean knock us out. And I believe also the Terrastalized Dazzling Gleam would also knock us out. So this is just going to preserve our Farigiraf for one more turn, and the Waterfall is enough to get a knockout onto the Espathra there. So we are going to live that, but they actually do double up into the Farigiraf, and I wasn't sure if that was to guarantee a KO on the Farigiraf or if they were expecting the Dazzling Gleam after Terrastalizing to do enough to knock out Farigiraf. So then the Thunder Punch would be auto kind of swapped over to hit the Gyarados. I'm not really too sure there, but I am pretty confident that that Dazzling Gleam probably would have knocked me out anyway. After getting its stab bonus. So they do just go back out into the Breloom here, and now I know Breloom has the opportunity to put something on my team to sleep, just because the Farigiraf is awake once again. So I am just gonna go for the Reflect just in case he doesn't go for it. But we do see the full para there, so I don't really know what he went for. So our Reflect does go up, and we do get Thunder Punch, but thanks to Reflect, we do live. And we did get a crit into the Iron Hands, which is going to take Waterfall from being like a 5-hit KO to a 4-hit KO. So that crit's actually pretty big for us, just for getting rid of this Iron Hands as quick as possible. And we do see the swap out to the Iron Bundle here. Maybe to take like a Psy Shock or something like that. And we actually do get a second crit into the Iron Hands, which I believe without that second crit might have lived that turn to get some more damage off, maybe the knockout into Farigiraf. So, I mean, getting 2 crits back-to-back is insane. And, I mean, getting them both when it really does matter is even more lucky on my part. So, I mean, that sucks a lot for my opponent, and I wish it wouldn't have played out that way, but I mean, I can't go back and change it. But they do go for the freeze dry into our Gyarados, and it does crit us, taking us down to red HP. Then we miss the Thunder Wave, and they do go for Brick Break on their Breloom to break our screen. So now the Breloom is going to be able to do just max damage with whatever it wants. So here I do just protect Gyarados, just try to preserve him for as long as possible, and I bring Hariyama out just because Hariyama will for sure be able to take a hit from both of these mons, and I am just going to fake out the Breloom because I don't want a Spore going off, putting my Hariyama to sleep, because I think that's probably the higher priority sleep target on my team right now, or on my field right now, just because Gyarados is, I mean, one freeze dry away from being knocked out by the Iron Bundle. But he does protect his Iron Bundle, so we don't take any damage that turn, and we don't get put to sleep, which is the more important thing. So I do just decide to go for the Drain Punch into the Iron Bundle. It did just protect the last turn, so if we don't go down here and we don't get put to sleep, the Drain Punch should be enough to knock out. It does go for the Icy Wind, which lowers our speed. That doesn't really matter because we're already really slow. And the Gyarados goes down. He does Brick Break into us, and we get the Drain Punch off into the Iron Bundle, which is going to knock it out. So now we're down to our Ting-Lu and Hariyama against just his Breloom. And with the Breloom being paralyzed... Oh, I forgot the Breloom was paralyzed. We might have outsped the Breloom. I don't believe so. Well, actually, I know so, because the Breloom is Choice Scarf. So it's kind of stuck clicking Brick Break, and it definitely outspeeds both my Pokemon, even after the paralysis. So here it's going to go for Brick Break into the Ting-Lu. We're pretty defensive, so we're going to take that quite nicely. And we're just going to go for Ruination because it's going to be our highest damaging move into it. And then we're just going to go Drain Punch to knock it out and take the 2-0 victory. So after that, that is semifinals over, and we are now into the championship, where I will play the champion of the Scarlet Conference. So, so look forward to that one. And great game to my opponent. The double crit definitely mattered on the Hariyama, or the Iron Hands, and I would have really liked to see how that game played out had there not been a double crit. there was a huge possibility of a game 3. So good games to them. And yeah, I hope to see you next week.